Oh,
that's
Tony
funny.
and each
That's
other.
funny.
No, because this
Tony
nigga.
rocking each other.
Hold on.
That's funny.
Fuck,
That's
fuck
funny.
that.
Brothers.
Yo,
What they
that's
both
hilarious.
do?
No. Time
And
out.
he's just
Fuck
like,
that.
yeah, nigga, I told you a year ago.
No,
Like,
fuck that.
yeah, I
He's
told
the-
you a year ago.
He's the most vague nigga I ever met in my life. I'm telling the story. Fuck that.
Yeah,
I wasn't gonna bring it
sense.
up.
That makes a lot of sense.
Fuck
man.
that. I'm glad you said something. Don't put it now. Put him on blast for this shit.
This is his signature. Go ahead. What's the feature thing? Why I keep saying
No, because he asked the question about. He said,
Oh, the feature. I said, what works better for you? Like,
would I rather have one guy or does
yeah, I said, are you? So let's go back to recap it. So what I was saying is, he gives a lot of, you know what I mean?
Right,
He's like,
right,
he got
got it,
Joe,
got it. Oh, okay, that question.
Trey, the other Trey, you, Grady. There's a bunch of comedians that he's took on the road before, and I said, is he doing that like to give a bunch of people opportunities, or does he feel like that works better for him having a variation of comedians because it's like the set. What you do on stage, right, might bring a different version of him out when he does his set. Like, this is still his jokes, but you know when you get up there, you might, the flow is, it's like, okay, ground me, set it up like this. You know what I mean? It's like, so is it work better for him having someone different?
Okay.
Or is it like, I'm just doing this because I'm trying to show love because this is what Tracy Morgan did for me, or this is what Kim did for me. You know what I mean?
So like, if you don't know backstory, I used to be Tracy Morgan's opening act. I used to be Kim Cole's opening act. I used to be John Witherspoon's opening act. John Witherspoon, super cool. He was an older head. So I come in the green room and he's just sitting there with like tea brewing and a towel around his neck. And he would just sit quietly, no TV, no music, or maybe some light music playing. And I was a feature. So I've always been very respectful of the green room. So it's like, if I'm the feature, it's your green room.
Yeah.
I would just sit in the corner. If he spoke to me, I would, we would talk. But if he was quiet, I'd be quiet. And some nights he would say, hey, young fella, how much time did he tell you to do? Like, oh, they told me to do 15. And he'd be like, do 7. I feel like stretching tonight. I'm like, all right, cool. Open, do a quick 7, bring him up. And then other nights I come in and what did they tell you to do? They tell me to do 15. Do 25. Like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Bet. Like, so he would let me, stretch my legs some nights. So I was very appreciative of that.
Rest in
Kim,
peace to
rest
John
in peace.
Witherspoon.
Rest in peace. Yes, definitely. Kim Cole's was cool. She was kind of, we didn't vibe a lot after the shows and before the shows, but I was appreciative of the opportunity. But Tracy, I learned the most from. Tracy, like, was fucking oracle. Tracy just gave me all the game, answered any question I had about comedy at length. Tracy can go when he started talking. So he would answer the smallest question, he would go for hours on and just give me all the game. And he was very, very, very supportive. He was my big bro. You know what I'm saying? I love that dude infinitely. I will never say a bad word about Tracy. Me and Dominique, he would always like work with us and help us out a lot. That's why me and Dominique are so close to this day.
Yeah.
And when he let me go and told me, I don't want you to feature anymore. You're a star. Go be a star. He said, the only thing you owe me is when you're in my seat, you do the same thing for the next young comic. So being in LA and being in the club every night, I see a lot of comics. I see a lot of young cats that I'm like, yo, this dude really, he got something. You know what I mean? So it turned into, I'm touring so much, yo, come out and do some dates. Try to pay it forward.
Yeah.
It would probably work better if it was me and one guy doing a 2-man show because they could get more money and do more time. But I see so many talented cats that it's like, yo, let me give him some dates, and I'll give him some dates, and I'll give him some dates, and then it's basically just based on what Tracy said. Just when I'm in the position, and I'm in the Tracy seat now, so I'm trying to help cats out. So one day, hopefully, somebody that was from the Bill Belichick, would you say, coaching tree,
yeah,
will blow the fuck up and be like, yo, man, Tone. They will speak about me with the same reverence that I talk about Tracy.
Yeah.
Like, yo, Tone gave me all the game. Tone took me on the road. Tone showed me this. Tone partied with me. Tone, I owe it to the game. Like I always say, comedy bigger than me. That's why I don't have no ego when it comes to comedy. It's bigger than me. I know my window's gonna close one day, but I'm in the window now.
Yeah,
I'm sitting right up in that motherfucker. Like, you look in the window, I'm sitting in the window. But I know it's gonna close one day. So it's like, let me do my part for everybody else before the window closes.
Yeah, that's because the question came because we had Ocean on the show.
Mm-hmm.
It's like him and Dion. I asked him how they started. And he's like, we've been together this long, whatever. And I'm like, to me, it feels like that's the way, like, you can't mess nothing up. Because he told me a story, and I already knew when he told me the story where it was going. He was like, one day Tone was like, yo, we're meeting downstairs, at 6:30, whatever. He's like, he on the elevator at 6:30, y'all left him. And he's like, I was like, oh, he don't play that shit. If he tell you a time, you better come before that.
If I say 6:30 and you come downstairs 6:31, I'm 1 minute down the block.
So I was like, so with someone like that, it seems like it would probably benefit you more to have one person that's like, he knows the yin and yang. Like I know what he's going to do. I know I know what we do after the, like, it just seems like that works better for everybody. But again, some people don't never have, they switch up all the time. They might use a motherfucker from the city. Like, I ain't bringing nobody this time.
Yeah. I agree with that. But also, one of the problems is that, like we were talking earlier in the show about me doing crowd work and just tying it into material. And now I have the luxury of doing 1 hour on stage. If you're the host and you're doing 15, it is not in your best interest to try to do what I do in your 15 minutes. Because now you're not doing anything. You're not getting to your bits. You're not getting a chance
to work it.
So that's one of the detriments. I take people to feature, they see what I do, and the next show, now they're all, where you from? And what you do? Bro, it don't work like that. That just lets me know you don't realize what you're watching. You don't understand what you're seeing. Because I don't just go up there like, where you from? Oh, okay, nothing there. What's up, man? No, it's calculated.
You see something.
It's
and you
something
like,
I see. It's something I hear. And then, like we said, I tie it into something to make it all seem like it happened in the moment.
Yeah.
And when people see that, that's like, man, we don't know where this crowd work started and the bit began. It's like a beautiful thing to see. It's like really like writing music almost.
It's like poetry.
Right. So then a lot of times the feature is like, I want to do it too. And now the next show is, oh, you married, man? Oh, yeah, you married.
Especially the way social media is, everybody wants that viral.
So I get a lot of features now that I'm just like, this isn't enjoyable to have this person, because now they trying to do what they saw me do.
Yeah.
It doesn't work in your 20 minutes. I have the luxury of doing an hour. So if I don't get a hit, it's like, oh, no, all right, you don't want to talk? That's cool. Have a great night, bro. And I'm right back to material.
Yeah.
If you got 20 minutes, you do that for 5, 10 of your 20 minutes. Or if you're doing 15, you do that for 10 minutes. Now you can tell one joke and it's good night. And I also like to have the show beginning to end be good. I don't want the show to get good when I hit the stage, because then that means the audience sat through 30, 40 minutes of like bullshit. And I see a lot of headliners bring weak features.
I remember you said that.
I see a lot of headliners bring 4 features, and they all go up to do 15 minutes, and they dance, and hey, whose birthday is it? And it's like, yo, you cheating the audience, bro.
Facts.
You cheating the audience. You literally just cheated these people out of their money. So I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. And sometimes it backfires with them trying to do the same thing. So it works with me. It works for me to be like, all right, let me give everybody a little time, a couple of these cities, and see what really works. But ultimately, it's basically because Tracy said, when you're in the position, you do it.
Yeah, I figured it was that. Yeah, so we wrap it up soon, but yeah, that's pretty much. I wanted to touch on that. I was like, I wonder, because when you get into, like I said, that rhythm, like, I don't know who your brother. I know he got Clay Brooks. I know
Matt. He had Matt. He had Wanda. It's another thing. Lastly, it's the curse of success. So I bring all the features, and then Austin gets something and he has to go, and Jordan books a TV show and he has to go, and so it's like it benefits. It's like I have the guys around. And, okay, bet. There's the curse of success is like when my brother had the Chris Rock show. It was him, Wanda, Ali Leroy, Mario Joyner, Chuck Sklar, Louis C.K., all writers.
Yeah.
Wanda gets a TV show.
He's out.
Based on what they were doing on my brother's show. Louis C.K. gets the deal based on what they were doing. So the collective is not going to stay the same forever anyway. The goal is for everybody to spread out and do their own thing.
Because I asked Naeem this at the Improv, and I said, because I want to get him on. Eventually he'll come, him and Spank. I talked to both of them, but I hit him right in the middle of like them going all across the world with Kev. But I asked him, and I said, do you feel like, because the question I asked on social media was like, would you rather be a headliner that sells 150 tickets, one-nighters, couple weekends or whatever, or be the Robin that's like touring with Kev or Chris or some shit, you know what I mean? And people was like, there was some people that was saying, I want to be the, I want to be like, nigga, I seen you.
They want to be what?
The headliner. They want to be the man. I'm like,
ego.
I seen you, bro. Like, if you ever get a chance to go with a nigga, take that. Because that's you doing what you love and you getting paid well.
Right.
You're not gonna succeed the other way. And it's hard to tell people that because their beliefs are their beliefs. But when I asked Naeem that, he was like, yeah, there's some things that I wanted to accomplish that I probably never will because now I'm tied to Kev and it's kind of like we have this machine.
Yeah.
So, because at one point
we had the same conversation before. We had lunch together and we talked about both of us, the positions we were in, and how they were similar and the uniqueness of both of them. And he was like, now he's just in it now.
Yeah, because he said at one point, he told me, but Kev said it too. He's like, he broke off and was with, I think, Cedric. Like, he didn't want to be with Kevin, went with Cedric and got fired or some shit. It was Cedric or somebody else. It was another, and he came back and was like, this works better or whatever. But he's like, now that there's no, you know what I mean? And then Spank said there'd be times where he'll get a call from his agent like, yo, we got this date for you. Be like, oh, bet, the money is this. Like, cool. Then he said when he gets the email, to be like him and Naeem, like, it's a plastic couple. He'd be like, well, he'd be like, well, nah, they want to pay more for both of y'all. So even in that situation.
They'll say the money is this much and he'll think he's making that much. And then you got to split it with Naeem.
Yeah, because they'll be like, yo, you want to do, let's say, Indianapolis, the Helium or whatever's down there.
Yeah.
And he'll be like, oh, yeah, this is the money. Oh, okay, bet, cool. Then when he gets the email for like the booking or whatever, it'll be like plastic couple. He'll be like, nah, I thought it was like, well, nah, if it's just you, it's this. But if it's y'all, it's this.
Wow.
And he was like, what the fuck? He was like, but that just is what it is because we are synonymous. Like when you hear Plastic Cup Boys, even though it's not Kev coming, you still think of Kev. He's like, so it paid. He's like, it's just a mental thing. Like they say Spank, people be like, oh, who's that?
Right.
Plastic Cup Boys. Oh.
Right.
So it's like, even in that situation where they're separated from him, they're still tied together.
Get out from under they couldn't get out from under Kev, now they can't get out from under Plastic Cup Boys.
And he said, so I never asked Spank this, but that was the question I was going to ask him, was like, do you feel like you wish you would have broke off sooner to be your own, or do you think, he was like, I think I would have still been, and I consider y'all like, in the same like class or whatever. He was like, I see, and I think he brought you up, like I see people like Tony, he's like, I think I would have still been able to do what they're doing, but I don't think I would have been big. Like,
me and Spank talked recently. We supposed to get him on the podcast because when I said that thing about not being in my brother's movie, and then that shit went viral crazy.
I texted you about it. I was like, yo, niggas,
it went crazy
about it.
And Spank reached out when that clip went viral, and he was like, damn, I had a similar situation happen, man. I understand exactly what you're talking about. And I was trying to like clarify it for people, but it's like people are gonna hear what they want to hear. I realized
as soon as I seen it, I was like, oh, this is gonna go.
Yeah. You told me that, yeah.
Because you told me this story way back when I first met you.
Right.
Like about the movie where you was like, people was hitting you up. So I already knew, once you start telling the story, I was like, oh, they're going to take this and spin it like.
So that's how social media works.
Chris,
they take it, they sensationalize it. They create their own narrative. I've seen clips, it's like 20 of the clips up, like, you know what I'm saying? 50 of them shits. One's like a picture of me like, and it's like, Tony finally has enough of Chris. And it's like, oh, I see what they're doing. They just create a heading, what is it called?
Headline.
They create a headline.
Sizzle, yeah.
They create a headline. So you log on and you watch it, but it's like, oh, that's not what the headline says.
For every one unique comment, like under it, like, oh, I didn't know that, or there was 10 that said, yeah, but Will gave him a job and he was the one ready to fight Will about his brother. That, like, for one, every one unique comment was 10 of those.
Crazy about you. I was like,
he was in all of us though. Will gave him a job. Fuck Chris. I'm like, every one, oh, I didn't know that or whatever, was 10 of those. Same every year scroll.
I learned so much from that, man. So they sensationalize, they create their own narrative, they make up shit, they start to guess. I saw what was it? Joe Budden's podcast. And everybody, I loved it. Everybody was covering it. It was like, damn.
You should have knew it was gonna go crazy when they said it was Aries Spears podcast.
Yes.
That was the first. Once they said that, you should have knew.
That's the thing Trey was mad about. It's all about Aries Spears. I'm like, bro, that's not the thing to be upset about. Like,
he was hot when I talked to him.
Yeah. So I'm like, they just took it and ran with it. And everybody was like, whole panels of like, well, maybe they don't get along and maybe they don't like each other. Maybe they don't fuck with each other. And I'm like, wow, where's this notion coming from? Now, I was trying to tell people, I guess I might have been doing, I don't know for sure, but I might have been doing more damage trying to clarify.
I didn't see no
fuck it. It is what it is. But I was like, I was on tour. He said, opportunity. I was still touring. So I wasn't going to stop the tour until there was a concrete, this is the day you start work.
Yeah.
So people act like I was just like, yo, he didn't call. Okay, I agree that there's definitely some miscommunication and somebody dropped the ball. Absolutely, 100%. But I was like, okay, I'm gonna go get this 20,000 until I get the phone call. No phone call this week. I'm gonna go get this other 20,000.
I never considered that. What if y'all talk to each other like you talk in general, and that y'all both just do the same thing, and y'all both was like, well, he'll tell me. And he's like, well, I already told him, so I'll wait for him to hit me up. Y'all just doing this.
Oh,
they
that's
Tony
funny.
and each
That's
other.
funny.
No, because this
Tony
nigga
rocking each other.
Hold on.
That's funny. That's
fuck
funny.
that.
Brothers,
Yeah,
what they
that's
both
hilarious.
do.
No, time out.
He's just
Fuck
like,
that.
yeah, nigga, I told you a year ago.
No,
Like,
fuck
yeah,
that.
I
He's
told
the-
you a year ago.
He's the most vague nigga I ever met in my life. I'm telling the story. Fuck that.
Damn,
I wasn't gonna bring it
sense.
up.
That makes a lot of sense.
Fuck
man.
that. I'm glad you said something. Come put it now and put him on blast for this
This
shit.
is his signature. Go ahead.
One day Tone reaches out, right? And I don't never want to put myself in, like, assume anything. He texts me one day, says, yo, I got Pittsburgh December 18th, DL Hughley canceled. I'm like, okay, like, nigga, you taking me with? Like, what are you saying? But I was like, you know what? Let me just be, presumptuous, like, yo, bet you want me to go? He was like, yeah, call the manager, boom, cool, boom. So we do the set. When I get there, now I didn't want to fail in front of this nigga. So I had a bunch of material, but I was like, let me see how a host does. I watched a bunch of Def Comedy Jam, but only the part Martin did. Like, as soon as he was done, I turned it off, watched that, and I was like, okay, cool. So when I got there, I didn't do a lot of material. I just kind of like, warming the crowd up. So after the weekend was over, there was no notes, no feedback or nothing. I was like, what's up with that? Like, I know it wasn't perfect. Like, you know what I mean? So he was like, it just seemed like he was riffing. You didn't do a lot of material. I was like, oh, it's because of, he was like, don't do Martin, do you, nigga. I was like, all right, cool. So then I just happened to be going to Pittsburgh for a party the same weekend he's there again. And I'm like, yo, can I host? He was like, well, last time you didn't bring a lot of material. I need to see you perform. I'm like, bet next time I do a set in LA, because it was like a couple weeks out, I'm like, I'll send you the thing. He never responds. I was like, but I'll be there anyway, so regardless. I do a set, I send him the video. He never texts me back, nothing. I go to Pittsburgh. I'm there, you know what I'm saying? Nothing. My man FaceTimes me. Yo, he's drunk as hell. I'm like, yo, somebody like, yo, Tone said, where you at? You ain't come to the show? I'm like, what? I'm like, oh, no, I'm playing it off. I want to be like, man, fucking nigga ain't never tell me. He told me I couldn't do the show until he saw the material. I fucking sent it to him. He never texted me back. So I'm like, oh, yeah, I had something to do.
But now I was operating under.
So I'm gonna tell him
operating
that.
under the text of I'll be there that weekend. Okay, so you here?
So he just says, I need to see you before I put. I was like, fair. I'll send you footage. I sent it to him, and it was the show. No, it wasn't. That was something else. I sent it to him. He never responded. I'm like, all right, cool. I don't want to bug him. Obviously, I took that as I'm not impressed. Not enough to let you. So I was like, all right, cool. I didn't want to say nothing else. So I go there whole weekend, nothing, you know what I'm saying? And one day I was like, I'm gonna just go down there and just pull up on it. But I'm like, maybe he don't even want me there because then he didn't even text me back. So I was just like, all right, cool. I see him in the Laugh Factory a couple weeks later. He's like, yo, what happened in Pittsburgh? I'm like, what? He's like, yo, you ain't pulled up. We was there all weekend and shit. You said you wanted to get on. I'm like, how the fuck was I supposed to do that? I said, he was like, nigga, I want to see you come down Friday, do the first show. Oh, you cook. Oh, you do the rest of the weekend. I'm like, you didn't say that. He was like, bro, I said, pulls out his phone and you say you'll be there no matter what. I was like, yeah, I'll be in Pittsburgh. I didn't say the show. He was like, I don't know what to tell you, bro.
Wait, you already said? I said I'll be there anyway. I'm there that weekend. Okay.
I was talking about the city. He thought I was talking about the show. So I'm like, this nigga's so vague. Like, he's like, bet. And then we talked about this like 2 episodes ago. I said, the one time when you told him to come pick up the merch, and he was like, I'll come get it tomorrow or whatever. He was like, okay. And then we get to the Laugh Factory, he's like, he think he big enough. Now I gotta go on tour without no merch because I fly out in the morning and he didn't come get it. He's like, oh no, I didn't know. I said, when Tone says something he didn't already thought about, it's planned out. He's not even arguing with you. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. All
yeah,
right,
man.
cool.
Yeah.
You can wake up the next day. Yeah, I'm gonna come. What time you want me to come through? Nigga, I'm in Indianapolis. What? Yeah, I had to fly out. I told you to come get it last night. You said no. Oh well. You were like, oh shit.
I don't even know if any walked out after that story, but every other comic after he walked out was like, hey, yeah, you gotta not do that, man. You got like every comic.
Because it was Jesse's birthday. We was all
everybody was
upstairs.
there like, hey, well, I don't know what you was doing, bro. What you thought you like.
Niggas like, he was taking me on tour. I'd be right at the house. What bags you want to take, man?
Everybody took turns telling me, yeah, I would have never done that, bro. That's crazy. What was you thinking? I was like, I get it now. I fucking get it. I didn't know that. I thought that was a conversation we was having. I know it was like, hey, man, today they get the bag.
Because he's already has it. Yo, come.
Yeah, that was the point of that statement.
It's already like, okay, he'll get the bags here. I'll do this, and this before I have to go. Oh, I'll come get the bags. I'll get them tomorrow. All right, I'm gonna go do this, and I'm gonna go.
So we thought I was like, yo, he was like, what happened in Pittsburgh? And I think it made, if he wouldn't have said nothing at all, we probably still, to this day, would have never even figured out of like, he didn't want me there. He seen me like, yo, what happened in Pittsburgh? Why you ain't? I was like, what? He was like, yeah, you said that, nigga, hold on, pulls his phone. I'm like, yeah, I said this. So going back, what if Chris was like, well, yeah, I said, and he's like, oh shit, I'm not even.
I'm imagining that's what happened.
What happened with my brother? What happened with my brother was we was at the Comedy Cellar. I was home that weekend. He was home that weekend. I'm walking in the Comedy Cellar, and when I come home, you know, I got all my dudes with me. We trying to have a good time.
Yeah.
I walk in the Comedy Cellar, and he's like, probably just finished his set, leaving. We talk for a few. Yo, how you been? You spoke to mommy. You know, we talk like brothers. We don't talk about this. We talk about the same shit you talk about with your brothers.
Yeah.
Yo, you saw the game. But yo, I'm shooting. I have to shoot a movie. I'm home for. Are you here for a while? Yeah, I'm home. I'm shooting a movie. Yo, you in it? Oh, word? Who I got to call? Like, yo, I'll get you all the info. Bet. My boy said, yo, straight, let's go, hit the ball. He said, he'll give me the info. But keep in mind, I was on tour the whole time.
Yeah.
So I leave New York City. I go to Kentucky. I come back to New York City. I go to Vegas. I'm moving. There's a bag in all of those cities. So I'm like, all right, well, I didn't get a phone call. But there was not a fall off. Like I wasn't broke the whole time sitting around waiting for the phone call.
Yeah. I don't think nobody thought
now,
that.
I do believe that it was a ball dropped. I should have hit his assistant, maybe. I should have texted him like, yo, you know, what's up with the date or whatever. I didn't. I was working. I was like, I'll just keep working until I get the phone call.
That's probably the same thing like
But
me. Instead of me
everybody
being like, yo, I'm here, what's up?
The speculation was crazy. They don't fuck with each other. He don't even like his brother. Like, what?
Oh, they was like, yeah, Chris is jealous because he's funnier than him. And then you see, I'm reading the comments like, yo, this is better than the actual post. Like, because it's people just creating their own narrative.
Yo, it's amazing. Yo, I learned so much from that month of bullshit. It's like, y'all don't need facts. Y'all just make your own shit up.
Whatever feels good to them.
Ain't it weird to be a part of the story?
You just believe whatever you make up. Oh, okay, I get it.
That's crazy to be a part of the story and you watch people type in real time a lie about you.
But
while you read it,
or watch a podcast and they're like, yo, they don't fuck with each other. Like, but first of all, fam, who are you?
But peep this, here's so
an expert on the topic.
I'm gonna tie this all in. This is how once I kind of learned this shit, I was like, I don't really take the internet. So I ain't gonna lie, sometimes I do get like, I be ready to just go off, but I be like, you know what, these people don't even know me. So when that shit happened with your brother and you was vocal about like, yo, fuck this nigga, Will, whatever, da-da-da.
Oh, that shit, yeah.
There was so many people in the comments like, who is he, da-da-da, all this negative, like, you're just riding your brother's coattail, blah, blah, blah. And as soon as you say you never put me in there, they're like, oh, his brother foul as hell, you should have put him on. It's like,
yeah.
Yo, nigga, am I the irrelevant one or am I the one that's owed something about this nigga? Like, make your mind up because if you could just remember all the at names that was saying negative shit the first time and then see those same at names like, that's wild as hell. He should have done it. You'd be like, yo, you was just saying I was a nobody and I was doing this for clout.
One dude said, yo, I just watched the clip and I've never seen, this is the most entitled shit I ever watched. Like, get a job, nigga. Something like that. Son, did you not hear that I was on tour the whole time getting stupid money?
This is the clip.
Here's the problem, dog. Here's the problem. I will watch a video of myself on any platform and I will ignore every compliment.
Comments get no attention from me now.
Like,
no, it's
my nigga, who are you?
That shit right there taught me, yo, fuck, nigga, they're gonna make up their own story anyway.
I ignored 100 compliments. It's on one day. Like, who the fuck is this nigga?
I made a video. Videos either Jordans or something. It was a shoe video, whatever it was. So this page on Facebook, dude follows me on Facebook. He's a friend on Facebook and on Instagram. It's like his page is nothing but shoe related.
Right.
And he just takes other people's content, but he tags it, you know what I mean? But it's not his own original content. And so my boy sent me a screenshot of this post that I just put up. He was like, yo, this shit got 1 million views already. And I was like, I went to my page like, no, the fuck it don't. Cause I'm like, I would have known that. I'm like, where did you get this from? Well, this ain't on my page. He's like, oh, this is some shit I seen on Facebook. I was like, what's the name of the page? He's like, all right, gives me the page. I go to dude's reels and he had, you know, at the number count of the views, 32,000, 57,000, all of them was like under 100,000. And then he posted like 6 or 7 of my videos, always showing me love, but I don't know because I don't really be on Facebook like that. Every single one of my videos, 1 million views plus. Everyone else like 50,000, 32,000. You know what I'm saying? There's like maybe 1 or 2 that got 1 million, but they're like clips of like a football player, a nigga getting dunked on, but not no like content.
Content.
It's like a clip or something. But the only ones that are content are mine that all got 1 million plus. I'm going through the comments like, oh, I'm probably getting mad love. This nigga's whack as hell. This ain't funny. Tell me when to laugh. People like, yo, this nigga hilarious. And I'm like, oh, thanks. Watch out. What the fuck this nigga say? But in my head, I'm thinking, you can't, I know funny is subjective. You know what I mean? Somebody be like, I don't think he's funny.
Right.
I think he's funny or he's funny, whatever. It's like, when I look at the stats, all these videos have 30, 50,000 views. Every single last one of my videos has 1 million plus, and this is not my page. So it's not like my audience is
Right.
there for me.
Right.
They're there for shoe content, but they gravitate to these videos more. Fuck you, nigga. Like, that's how I feel, but
Yeah.
I learned to be like,
Yeah, like you gotta
because
understand
you
that.
arguing
If
with a
it's
nigga
like,
who's a loser,
that
bro.
people don't love you,
That's
somebody gotta
why
be
you
the
arguing
opposite.
with a loser, bro? Like, don't even do it.
You walk out of comedy club, you didn't clear 40, 50 grand, and they like, this nigga broke as hell, get a job. You waiting on Chris to
Son,
give you a handout. You like,
I'm walking with 30
like I made your salary in one fucking
and
weekend,
another
bitch.
like 3 or 4 for merch. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, oh, this is the most entitled shit. I wasn't sweating the phone call because I was making so much money on the road.
Yeah, it's like,
I was like, oh, it didn't call? All right, bet.
again, when you getting money, a lot of times people like, I'm depressed. Now you broke. You know how many
Yo.
times I felt depressed
No.
and then got a check for
Yo.
some shit and be like, hey, nigga, I feel
It goes
way
for-
better,
listen,
nigga.
It goes
Fuck
for
you.
ugly too. You
Listen.
ain't ugly, you broke, nigga.
Listen,
Facts.
you ain't depressed, you broke,
Broke.
a lot of the times. You ain't tough, you broke a lot of the times.
Swear to God.
You ain't gangster, you broke. You
Broke.
mad because you broke. You mad because a lot of this shit go to just, yo, you ain't,
Broke is at the end of the sentence.
you mad because you don't get no chicks.
The girl,
You mad because you don't get, you just,
the girl y'all had on your show, Stephanie, that did the dating game.
yeah.
So I'm talking to her and she was just like, yo, when a dude's money's not right, nothing's right with him because he's angry about, like, when you see dudes saying, like, I'll tell you this, because y'all had this conversation on that dating show and I listened
Yeah.
to it and I talked to Trey about it too. And it was like, about the paying bills, whatever. I was raised like, I'm not letting a girl pay for no date. Like, I'm
Bruh,
paying for this shit, right?
We'll be here all day trying to.
And so
clear
when I had
shit
that
up. Them niggas
conversation
is-
with her, I said, it's your current situation will dictate how you answer that question. Because if you go out, say, not your situation, you're just Tony from Brooklyn.
Right.
You taking the chick out, but you got $1,000 in your account to your name. Really, your budget's like $100 for this date. And she's like, yo, you can't take me to Nobu. You like, bitch, I'm not doing all that. Da, da. But if you had $1 million in your account, like, yo, order whatever you want.
Right.
Because you're not looking at, this chick don't really like me. She just is using me for food. You don't care because it's nothing to you. When it is something to you, it changes how you view it. So you're like, why would I pay a girl's bill? Because you're looking at like, this is going to hurt me to do this.
Right.
If it's not going to
To
hurt
which-
you, you don't give a fuck.
To which I said, if you got to be so concerned about the money and her reciprocating equally, they kept saying like it's equal. Everything got to be equal.
Nah.
If you got to be concerned with all that, you probably shouldn't be dating. That's all I said.
Yeah, or dating that person because,
You should fall back and get your money right,
yeah, because
so you
what?
can date like you want to date.
Like you say,
that'd be even worse to like half-ass date. Like I really would like to go here, but I can't, so I'm gonna go here. Just don't date.
Yeah, just wait because it's not, I'm telling
Just
you
fall
right
back.
now. And like you said, like, yo, I live like me, so that's why I got my life and other people got theirs.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'll
watch
tell you
the
right now, when
episode.
I'm broke, I don't even play the game. Like, I'm self-aware. If I'm on Instagram scrolling, I'm like, damn, this bitch bad. And I see the highlights, Dubai, saying Monaco, Sandy, you know what I mean? Nah. This bitch is on yachts. It ain't for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't be like, she fucking think that she don't, nah. Nigga, obviously, this bitch is.
Yo, her Instagram is letting you know what the standard is.
Yeah, so when you see them highlight reels, Dubai, Morocco, all that shit,
Hold
scroll on, nigga.
Hold
I
on.
want to see the bitch that's at the GS on Crenshaw.
Hold on. I had a broke thought just now. I had a broke thought. Hold on. I only can Tony hear him say this because it make me laugh all the time. All right, so one time I think we was on the road, right? And like the hotels, like, you know, talking about a hotel or whatever, right? And I was so broke one weekend. I remember that like
The Seattle one?
it might have been a Seattle one. It was somewhere nice, right? We stayed there, right? And I saw like the receipt for the hotel, like, oh, you staying here, blah, blah. And I told my girl, I said, hey, man, I can just check out right now and sleep in the car. Let me get the hotel.
Let me get the, hey, give me the cash me out, dog. Let me.
Hey, someone check me out right now. I just take that. And I sleep in this Toyota for the next 3 days.
Bro, I
I
said,
thought that shit was, I laughed so hard that like, ask Florida, like, can I tell Tony that?
this is, bro, I swear to
Like, you
God,
ain't gotta spend that much on me one day.
when I got money, oh, it's whatever. You know, they say like when you drunk, but like $40 for 8 wings. Man, let me get 16 of them motherfuckers. When you broke, like, bitch, I ain't paying that shit.
You sober up if you broke.
I was doing a show in Memphis.
Yeah.
You start reading this shit.
And I had to pay like I had basically just paid like 10 bands of like bills and shit. And I was doing a show at Marcus in Memphis. I was featuring for him. And I'm like, Marcus Smith.
Okay.
He was, you might have seen him. He used to do the show with Corey.
He wore them suits.
He always wore the suits and shit.
Okay.
So I was featuring with him. Matter of fact, that's why I couldn't make it special because we was doing Detroit the same day. So we're in Memphis or whatever, and I was like, man, and I had a manager at the time. He's like, yo, you really need to do this show. But I was like, but I can't afford, because I'm not really getting paid like that. You know, this is a one-nighter. And you know, you doing whole weekends and shit. I'm like, this is a one-nighter. Like, even if I get paid, whatever, it's not going to cover my flight and my room. I was like, I can't go. He was like, I'll get your room and your flight. Just go do the show. He was like, I believe in you. I'm like, all right, cool. So when I go to check in, the lady's like, I just need a card for the incidentals. I'm like, nah, this is... My manager booked this. I'm trying to act like I'm big. Like, nah, my team took care of this already. Because I just don't have the money. Like, you run this bitch. I'm fucked. Like, I just don't have the money. Like, you cannot.
Burger money.
I'm calling this nigga like, bro, you booked out. They talking about a car for the incidentals. He was like, yeah, just give it to them. They refund it in a couple of days. I'm like, I don't got a couple of days, dog. He was like, man, I'll take care of it. I'm like, all right. So I give him the card, whatever. So he's like, yo, get whatever, eat at the room. Because it was like, you basically couldn't even walk nowhere because it was like, this hotel's like on an island. Like highways around it. So you couldn't even walk nowhere. He's like, just order room service or whatever. I got you. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm ordering room service. Nigga, they're putting it on the card for the incidentals and not the card that reserved the room. Nigga, I seen that shit. I was like, I just want to cry, dog. Like, I flew home, just some water on the plane and shit. I was so, damn, I got my money back. I was like, but when I wanted to fuck somebody up. Like, I was so mad being broke. You cannot date and be broke.
You should do it.
Especially in this, chicks have like unrealistic expectations. So even if you find one that's kind of down to earth, she still wants some. And some of these chicks is getting money. So what they do with their own money, they're not gonna let you do less than that.
Right.
So you trying to take a chick out, you like, I want to go to Tao. You like, Tao? But nigga, I go to Tao for lunch on a Wednesday. I want to go to Tao. You're like, nah, bitch, just go get one of them ball playing niggas, the G League Lakers or some shit like. Fuck. But so it's like when I seen that, I was like, nah. I told her, I said, a dude is gonna be angry because him not being able. We're men. We want to provide and protect. If you go out with your girl and nigga grab her ass and you step to him and he knock you out, my nigga, you got to break up with her. You angry because you're like, I can't even protect this bitch. I can't provide for her. She slapped me the card under the table like, let's pay for it. You're like, nigga, how long do you think that's gonna last? You know what I'm saying?
Not very long. Not very long.
Either dating your bracket or don't date until your paper's to the point where you're like, yo, where you want to go?
Definitely stay in your bracket or don't date.
When they give you the bill, you just slide it. I don't care. I learned this from my dad, a bunch of old niggas. You go out to eat or whatever, don't matter what the fucking bill is. Don't even look at it. Just give them the card. You got to pay that motherfucker no matter what. So if you with the chick and you looking at it, she looking at you like, you expecting it, damn, what the fuck is this? You got to pay that shit no matter what. Just give them the fucking card and cry later if it's...
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I said stay in your bracket or don't date. There's no bracket because everybody wants the bad chick. So the bad chick comes with XYZ. So the best thing to do, don't date. Get your money up.
Or get you a bitch with low self-esteem that just wants to be loved because she's ran through and nobody else love her. Then she'll treat you.
You suffering.
Yeah, but
you suffering in silence.
Shit. No, but yeah, I seen that. I was just like, yeah, if your bread ain't right, it's
yeah, that was a good episode too.
Yeah, I watched it and I was like, oh, this shit dope. I was like, yeah. So the finale, so we'll wrap it up on that.
Season finale is next week. When does this air? Monday?
Monday.
So season finale is tomorrow.
Tomorrow, okay, Tuesday.
It's the Date Tony Rock episode. We did the Stephanie episode, which went very well. Got a lot of feedback. A lot of people started subscribing to the podcast. So we did the Date Joe Fox episode. Didn't go as well.
That's because he said he was voting for Trump or some shit, or he wasn't voting for nobody.
Joe's problematic when it comes to relationships. So to help the podcast,
going to date Tony.
Let's do the Date Tony.
That's gonna crack.
So it should be a lot of fun.
The live shows are bananas, by the way.
They're the comments on the live show. So I literally be in there like I'm really laughing for real hard.
I didn't know like the situation for that. Like if there's room or not. So I text you. You didn't even see that text when I was like, yo, I'm gonna pull up to the show tonight if it's cool. Because I didn't know like what the setup was. Like, did they got room in there?
No, we got room. We got a studio audience.
It's a live audience and we're still watching the comments in real time.
He just never replied and I was like, I know he see this, so he's probably thinking like, nigga, you ain't gotta ask or
Bruh, I swear, let me tell y'all, both of y'all right now.
That's why I don't get offended.
I don't respond because I'm like, yo, why are you asking me if you could come?
I'm only saying it because I didn't know like the the schematics. Like, oh, it might not be like, yo, we got a set amount of. So I was like, I don't want to just pull up. He's like, yo, because
that's how this motherfucker got on the tour. Just like, yo, I'm gonna come. All right.
Oh, and I know I was there.
And he just never stopped coming.
I was there with him the day that happened.
He just never was like, all right, it's been fun. I'm gonna go back home.
Because he said, we will wrap up when this is a good episode. I don't care. But did you ever tell him the story you told me and I told you to tell him about when you used to watch him at the Chinese theater when you first moved down here? How it all came full circle?
I don't know if I did.
Wait, you was at All Deaf?
I used to come to All Deaf.
So tell him, don't give him the full long drawn out, but give him the bullet points.
So when I first moved to LA, like I was in Long Beach, when we finally moved to LA, this girl I met, a friend of mine, she's like, you guys should come to the show. I hang out at the Chinese theater. Like, I'm friends with like Teddy and like Terrence or something like that. I didn't know who they was at the time. I'm like, well, I guess I'll go. But she's like, yeah, like Russell Simmons is there and all that. So I was like, oh, I guess I'll go for the comedy show. And then I came out. I didn't know that you did stand up. So when I got to the show and was watching the show and I saw he was the host, I'm like, that's bro from all of us. Like that was my initial thought. I was like, but I'm like, oh, this nigga's actually killing. Because now I'm a comedian. I started doing open mics in Long Beach. So I'm like, okay, I do comedy. This dude's killing this hosting shit. So I just went to like a few in a row. And then my roommate would always go with me, who you met, DC girl, Sam. So like she would come me every week and be like, hey, yeah, look at all the comedians hanging out after the show. And so you would stand with a bunch of comics after the show in like the cool comedian circles.
The way we do it now.
And she was like, I'm watching all the circles looking at them like, oh, like they talking and all, they having fun, blah, blah, blah. She would go over to the circle, intro a comedian, go over there and talk to you, introduce yourself. And I'd be like, I can't go to that fucking comedian. What's wrong with you? I can't walk over there. They don't know me. I ain't no fucking comic to them. And she was like, that seems dumb. You're a comedian. I don't get it. And so I was like, one day I'll be able to walk to a comedian circle and like, it won't be a weird thing.
And talk the tone.
Yeah, Grimes is walking up. So this is like 2014. Like, this is so long ago. I didn't see you flat. I mean, whenever that stopped slow down, I didn't see you again. So I started doing the open mics at Laugh Factory and just would come back on Tuesday nights and see you in the back of the club. I'm like, that's dude from fucking back in the day. And I might have walked to you one time and said, hey, man, I saw you hosting back in the day. And I think I asked, like, what made you so good? Anyway, long story short, you gave me a good answer and all that. And I was doing the mics and all that. And
you were still doing the same thing that you was doing at the Chinese theater.
Absolutely.
Because
I was in the back of the room and I was sitting like 3 booths away, like.
But I knew him from the mics.
All right now. Like, just talking.
And so we'd be talking and he would be like, oh, like, and I'm like, and one day he was like, nigga, who, like, why you sitting over there? Come over. Like, he's like, oh, okay. Like, he was just sitting far away. You know, we all by the couch and shit.
Yeah,
and
he's like in that middle booth.
Yeah, he's like, and he would be like, oh yeah, that is, I did hear that. You'd be like, nigga, what the fuck you doing way over there? So you was like, yo, come over here. And then eventually you said, he was like, son, he was like, I never seen you funny. He was like,
oh yeah, you or one of the guys from Tuesday Nights was like, man,
this thing keep winning the open mic competitions. He won like 11 open mics.
I remember that, yeah.
And he was like, well, I ain't never seen a nigga, is he funny? I'm like, yeah, he won 11 open mics.
And yeah, and I was like, well, I mean, like, I'll buy my own ticket and go wherever show you going to next, and I'll show you I'm funny. And then you were like, all right, well, I'm going to Chicago next week. And I was like, I'll buy a ticket to Chicago. And everybody was like, all the young comics was like, oh, shit, you gonna do it? And then like it ended up not working because I think Jordan came to Chicago. So he's like, hey, you came to Chicago. I'm going to Tacoma the next week. I was like, all right, well, I'll change it to Tacoma.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Jordan did.
Yeah, and so Nate Jackson's club, and so I did Nate Jackson club with y'all, and I did open the shows, and then I'll let you know how you did next Tuesday. It's all the young comics. We all back in there again Tuesday night.
I'll give my report on Tuesday.
But it all came full circle. Was like I used to watch you just like as a spectator, like and then it's like now I'm on the road. I'm like, again, that's not luck. That was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? I was like, when he told me that, I was like, did you ever tell him that story? Because to me, that's crazy. He was like, no, I think I might have mentioned it. Like, no, nigga, tell him the story. So when you say he's coming on, I was like, I'm definitely bringing that up, and I almost forgot about it. But I was like, no, you gotta tell him that. So the
irony of that is that like the circle now, I can't even picture what the circle is now, but I imagine that I'll probably stand outside somewhere with you or stand outside the club, wherever we at talking. And there's probably another comic doing the exact same thing. Like, this dude get to hang out. Oh, it's Tony Rock and all them comics, man. I can't walk over there. And it never clicked in my head that what I was picturing 10 years ago was like, man, it'd be so cool to walk up. And I used to say that, like, as a sentence, that it would be so cool to walk up to a comedian circle and nobody have any issue with me doing that. I used to think that was the coolest thing ever.
You walk up like, look at this, man, motherfucker, you on the road big time. You like,
I want to walk up and be like, everybody go, hey, my man, who's like, that's all I want to go.
Who this dude, yo?
Yeah,
yo, my man.
Yo, whose fucking mans is
Like,
this?
that part of the journey was the cool part for me. It's like, man, I just want to be funny enough. If I walk up to your circle,
the whole journey is cool.
y'all, nobody gonna be like, hey, what's up?
Like I said, I'm gonna say this and then we'll wrap up because it's been a good episode. You said enjoy this time now because then once it becomes like you said TMZ, now it's a job. It's not. You can't even just. Me and you could say some shit like right now that's like kind of outlandish. We might have a couple viewers in, whatever. If he says something, oh, it's on all those blog sites, Joe Button them and Matt Hoffa and them stuff. You know what I mean?
Enjoy being a
it's
nobody.
Like, yo, you gotta you gotta enjoy it now because once it becomes that, now it's like I can't do this. I can't say this.
Two things. Never get caught up in where you are in your career. Like, don't get depressed for where you are today.
Yeah.
Because if you look at your career, it's from here to here, right? Where you are right now might be here, right? Might be at this point right here. You got this much more, in your path, and you worried about today is not, bruh, you're gonna be here one day.
And it was a time where you prayed that you would be at where you're at now.
Right. And you're gonna get through whatever
it is.
I
had 5, wish I had 10.
Comedy and life, whatever it is, whatever you in right now, it's not gonna last forever.
No.
Right? So I'm not getting up, I'm not getting spots, whatever. It's not gonna last forever. And once you get out of it, you got so much more to go. So never get caught up in that. Secondly, you are right. Enjoy all of this because once you can't do it anymore, you can't do it again forever.
Yeah, you can't go back.
I had so much fun being an open mic comic. I had so much fun in New York City, hopping on the train with a bunch of comics, everybody being funny, riffing bits like, yo, is this funny? Yo, you got to say this on the train to one spot. Hopping the train, not paying, hopping the train to get to the next spot. Bunch of comics like, yo, somebody got some money. Yo, he was on at 9:30, so he got paid. We don't go on until midnight. He got $20. Like, yo, let's get pizza on me. Like, that shit was the best time ever. Me and Butch Bradley sleeping in a studio apartment. We lived in a space this big. Two grown men. We had a king size mattress on the floor. All of my clothes was on the wall over there. All of his clothes on the wall over here. And we slept in the same bed.
Back to back. Just
like, no, it was a king size mattress. So nigga, you slept here. We got enough space to put 2 people.
Yeah, but I'm saying like y'all ain't spooning.
Yeah, no, hell no. And then it was like, yo, we would just sit up and write all night. Like, yo, I got a premise. Like, let's go. And we'd be in the room all night just writing. And we would walk from there to the factory to do spots and walk back. And sometimes we'd invite the wait staff to come over like, yo, come and have some drinks. We had like a little setup like this on the floor. They would drink with us, chill.
The best
jokes. It was like, yo, this is the best life could get right now.
Didn't we talk about that last week? And I said, like, right now, the pod is not that big. But we'll look back one day and appreciate this because there'll be a time where it's business, where, yo, we got to get a flight here. We got to do this.
Even 5 years from now you got sponsors and you can't talk as freely as you wish you could.
Yeah.
You got to throw your little commercials in and you can't be like, oh, fuck that. No. They paying. They want you to,
Facts.
So you got to enjoy it all, man, because once it's gone, it's gone. It's over.
So, hey, man, we appreciate you coming on the show.
Thanks for having me, brother.
You're like the big brother of us in this comedy world.
I appreciate that.
Tell everybody where they can find you. And again, I'll put in the details, but just say
Instagram, Tony_Rock. TikTok, Tony Rock the World. TonyRockComedy.com.
Live from the Green
Room. The podcast. Please like, subscribe, share.
Tell them where they can see the special at.
The special's on Amazon, Hulu, Tubi,
Rock the World. Search Rock the World.
Rock the World, yeah. Rock the World's the special. Executive produced by Charleston Rock.
Charleston.
Yeah, man. Very proud of it. I think it's going to be something that people are going to look back on years from now and go, man, it was really something. I think it's my Reasonable Doubt. Like, people wasn't on Reasonable Doubt.
Yeah, until
initially. Then the deals came and the Def Jam came and it was like, oh shit, let's go. That's going to happen.
Yeah.
When I get to fucking Netflix 20, 30 million, they're going to go, oh shit, you got a special over here that we never saw. And they're going to realize like, oh, he was really on it like that the whole time.
So, man, that's the episode, man. So subscribe, like, comment, share. If you like to, let us know in the comments what you liked about it, man. Because this is Tony Rock and I fuck with Tony Rock like that. And we'll see y'all next week, man.